Oh guys, this is Gadget Man 404 and I'm taking my Phantom 2 Vision Plus out for a spin. Now, as you can see, I've got a lot of jello. I have got a sort of an anti-vibration camera holder underneath the drone. I put another piece of foam in, and yet it hasn't made any difference. It seemed to be better the other day. Now, I did notice after the flight that the camera mount was quite far forward, so I have moved it back a little bit, about 5 mm, so it's not hanging over the frame. It's now being pushed into the frame, and that might help. I deliberately did this flying into the sun because of what I want to do, so bear with me guys, because there is a method in my madness. Excuse the jello. I don't know if anybody would like to donate money to a Patreon that I could set up so I can buy gimbals and cameras and all that kind of thing, because I've just had a massive bill on Tuesday for my 125 motorbike of just shy of £900, and I've spent £450 in the last 2 days, and I still need another £500 worth of parts. Well, that's what the garage is telling me. I've now brought this up with Honda customer service, and I'm getting them to look into it, because I've even tried going to another garage, telling them what's wrong with the bike, and they still want to charge me to have a look at the bike, and I've already told them what I need, but they say they still need to look at the bike, and they'll charge me another £60 to £80 of labour. So I'm asking Honda if they can send my bike to another garage. Don't tell them what I've been told is wrong with it, and Honda will pay them instead of me. But I've got to wait to hear if that will happen. So that is that. So if anybody wants to donate a gimbal to me or anything to do with drones, it will be very much appreciated. Everyone gives the RC Sailors stuff, Drone Worship. You know, there's loads of people on YouTube that get given stuff. I don't get given anything, but I would appreciate it if anybody had a gimbal lying around that they're not using. I'll even pay the shipping if it's coming from another country. I do not mind. But that is another subject. Now, this is the old American Adventure site. This is where there used to be like go-karts down there. There was a missile, log flume, rapids. There was the missile, and I've always wanted to go across the lake, which is a good 500-600 meters, and up into these trees. Now, from where I took off from, you just see the front of those trees in the bottom right hand corner. But obviously, when you get over those tree lines, you can see that there is grass in between. It's not just solid trees, and you can see with this camera, you can see the ice that's, you know, hasn't thawed out yet. That castle in the background, people live in there. There is a two-tier garden, and there's a car park for disabled, and there's paths, and you can walk around there. Now, I didn't imagine that when I was flying to this area that I'd actually gone that far. But the drone signal, you know, I get easily 1,000 meters. There was nothing, and it just twitches a little bit there because I think I was getting close to the 1,000 meter range. I'll try and do a map and do a Google map and measure from where I took off from to where that happened. That happens occasionally in the flights. I don't know if it's just something that drone does, but it is an old drone. I am now doing a manual fly back over the lake. There's people working around here. I found out today there's going to be 300 homes or so built around this lake. They will not be filling in the whole lake, but they might be making it a bit smaller for safety reasons. But what of you guys? What of you having a house overlooking the lake? be fantastic. You know, lots of people in Canada and America, they have lots of waterways, swamp lands and all that kind of thing in America, especially in Florida. Canada is just beautiful anyway, and I wouldn't mind living here myself when these houses are actually built, which will take, according to the builders I've been talking to today, 10 to 15 years worth of work here. You will see in a minute when I go over one of the car parks of the old American Adventure site, you can see like blocks on the floor, and that is where the porter cabins are going for the people that will be running this site when it starts. So you can just start to see them sort of middle screen, middle. You can see like white squares. That is where the porter cabins are going to go on top of, so they're going to be jacked off the floor, and the guide told me they're going to be permanently there for at least 10 years, subject to change. There's the old wheelhouse. I don't think it's ever been connected to a mine shaft, but it looks cool, and I love flying over here. There's a park in front of me. There's nobody on the park, so that's why I am going. That's why I'm flying over it. The builders have given me permission to fly over here as well. I'm not in the land, I'm flying over. There's those blocks I was telling you about, and there's going to be 2 to 4 or even more porter cabins permanently on top of those. And I'm just flying to where my bike is now, top of that lane that you can see just bottom right corner. There is people park their cars because there's a concrete post, so you can't drive down the road unless you, well actually, yeah, I don't know if you can or not, but people don't anyway. You know, people just park up at the top and walk back. I'm testing out a new battery. Well, my brother's given me a clone battery to use. This flight was 10.5 minutes. I think originally it was over that, about 11.5, but I've edited out the setting up the gyros and GPS, and also when I landed it was on for about 45 seconds before I turned off the camera. And then I'm just letting it hover here. This is the road from Ilkeston to Hina, and now I'm doing a return to home. A little bit windy today. I lost one of my carbon fibre props a while ago in flight. I haven't been back to the site to try and find it yet, because somebody may have found it and put it somewhere. I will try next week. But this is the wind is making it lean over, because I think I'm flying sort of into the wind. I tried tipping my camera down quite a lot, but it still got the sun in shot, so apologies for that, people. But I wanted to fly into the sun, so I knew the sun would be behind me going to the woods and then coming back over the lake, and it did. And I think you'll find the footage was really nice. I love this place to fly. I fly my Bebop up here. I used to fly my 3X over here. Now I'm flying my Phantom 2 Vision Plus. All I need to finish off the rig up I've got, because I've got an FPV camera rigged up to the front where the USB port is. I just need a gimbal. Just need a decent 2-axis or 3-axis gimbal that I can control with my transmitter, because my transmitter is the upgraded version. It has the wheel in the top left hand corner, where the old transmitter has got like a little slider thing that goes from left to right that you use with your index finger when you're holding the controller. But you know, when you're still, it's actually quite stable. It's only in flight, and I do think it's because the gimbal was too far forward, not quite meeting the body of the drone. Now I've moved it back to where the holes are. If you were to screw a gimbal, my gimbal or my mount was over those holes, covering those holes by quite a bit, and then overhanging the front. Now I've moved them back, and hopefully it will take out the jitter, the wobble, because unfortunately YouTube have taken out the software, the anti-shake. But I hope you enjoyed this flight. This has been Gadget Man 404 out.
Thanks for watching Gadget Man's 404's channel.